This episode of Baby, This is Keke Palmer is sponsored by our friends over at Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Now, let's start the show. I know what you would have expected, right? I mean, Jackie Aina, she would come in here with the Forvr Mood package for your girl Keeks. That's not what happened.
Then what the hell makes you think I'm going to do it if it's never been done?
But then you do. And then it's like, whoa.
What does 2012 look like, though?
You know what it looks like. That 2012 makeup is just not as glam. It's like fake. Like everything is like blurred. It's almost like you know what I mean? Like the makeup.
What 2012?
It's not.
It's a made up word, first of all, because it's just oily skin. Like, what the hell does that even mean?
I really feel you on that.
Yes, girl.
That's that Leo Virgo energy. It's just like boom, 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 boom. Mom, do you know who Jackie Aina is?
I don't. I like the name, though. I like how her name sounds good.
Okay.
It's a lady, right?
Yes. Her name is Jackie Aina. She started off as a YouTuber doing makeup beauty tips and just kind of like became a real guru.
Oh, wow.
At the big stage of like gurus with makeup coming from YouTube. So she's definitely like an OG.
So was she ever like a professional makeup artist?
I think she was
for
before.
Like a famous people or no?
Yeah, I think she was a makeup artist. I'm not sure who her clients was, but she definitely was somebody that was pursuing makeup and then just started to kind of influence and then became very popular.
So she was very innovative.
Yes, she was, I would say.
Very cool.
So okay, you don't know about Jackie Aina. Have you ever watched YouTube makeup stuff?
Yeah, I remember that one guy did your makeup. His name is
Patrick Starr.
Yes, I remember that video you did. It was very popular, and he was good.
Yeah, now he has a really huge makeup line called One Size.
Okay.
It's like out of here. Like it's so huge.
I'm not surprised. He was very good.
So shouts out to Patrick. What are your views on makeup and beauty in the beauty industry? Have you ever felt connected to it?
Oh, man. When I was an entertainer, back in the day, and I was performing, and I did a lot of club, and stuff. I was doing like a dance, Chicago house dance music and stuff, and I would have to put on makeup and stuff like that. It was fun, When I was doing theater, and doing plays and stuff, I like to put on makeup and stuff, but I just never, I wasn't one of those women that I can't go out the house without makeup. I always thought that was crazy, Well, not crazy, but, some people feel makeup is an extension of them. Yeah. I had girlfriends and friends that wouldn't go out the house. At least they had to have foundation on, or a little eyeliner and stuff. I don't have long eyelashes. I've never had long eyelashes. So sometimes I would put, like, no matter where I went, I would put eyeliner on, have my little eyeliner.
I remember you used to always do inner eyeliner.
Yeah.
Always. You retired that, obviously, but you used to love that.
Yeah, that was just something simple, a simple thing. But I love makeup. I think it's a great, thing. But it makes me sad, though, when people feel they have to wear makeup in order for people to love them or like them or accept them. That's very sad to me.
Now, growing up, what were your influences of makeup? Like, did grandma do her makeup? Were your sisters into makeup? Like, what was the attitude around glam, beauty, and fashion for you growing up?
My mother did do makeup. Not anything too heavy, but my mother was into fashion. Everything was matching, Mm-hmm. And I remember she used to lay out her clothes like the day before church. Like, church was her thing. She wore the big hats and all that kind of stuff. And you know what she would do? She would take her lipstick and use her lipstick as blush.
Yeah, I remember you did that too.
Yeah, she would put her lipstick on and then she would take the stick and do like this and then, powder up her face, and she would do stuff like that. And her eyebrows were really huge. And I remember seeing her like plucking her eyebrows. And I remember the first time I was about maybe 14 and 15, I tried to pluck my eye. Oh my God, that hurt so bad.
I remember you telling me they never grew back.
Uh-huh.
I remember you telling me one time they didn't grow back.
Well, they grew back, but not really. I don't think they really, I still have like little splotches, that shit hurt. And so that was when I realized beauty hurts. You know what I mean?
What was it like looking for beauty products back then? Like, was it a thing? Like, for instance, today, honey, it is a thing to go to the mall, to go to Sephora, to go get your bags filled up, to just do the makeup thing. What was it like for y'all? Like, was it a thing to even like get products exchanged? Was there a popular brand that you
Yeah,
loved?
there was a popular brand. Like, we had CoverGirl, but they didn't have any colors for us.
Oh, okay.
So there was no shades for black women at that time.
Wow.
I think we kind of stayed with, I think Maybelline might have had something for us. There were some brands that catered to African Americans, and we would just get it out. There was no Sephora. We was Walgreens,
But it's interesting that you bring this up because it makes me think about somebody who was big in the game for this, which is Iman. Do you remember when Iman's makeup hit the scene?
I do. I thought that was fabulous. Yeah, I do remember when Iman, her makeup hit, and then another thing too. When you got into the industry and I saw like professional makeup artists and things of that nature, that took makeup to a whole nother level for me too. Because I didn't know all of the things you could do. Like what is contouring? I didn't even know what that was. And I realized I had been doing it, but I didn't know that's what you called. I was trying to shade and and then like I have moles up under my eyes. I have moles up under my eyes and stuff. So I spent a lot of time trying to like blot the moles out and all that kind of stuff. And then when I actually saw a professional makeup artist, it kind of let me know, oh, wow, I was doing something. I was doing it. But I wish we would have had YouTube. Because now you guys could go on YouTube and see every damn thing. Everybody's doing something. And but for me and for my friends, it was just going to Walgreens or whatever department store that was open, and we would just get the basics, which was the eyeshadow, the mascara, the eyebrows, and lipstick. And then, you could get the little blush stuff, and that was it. And, yeah.
Now, I remember years of my life where you were into makeup. Obviously, like you said, it wasn't like you in the bathroom beating your face for hours, but you definitely would give us the eyeliner, a little bit of the lipstick, ruching on the cheeks, and leaving it at that. Right. When did you kind of be like, I'm tired of makeup? Was it because of just life becoming too busy?
Right.
Or was it specifically like just not a focus?
It was when I had twins. Mm-hmm. When I had those twins, they took something from me in terms of energy.
Not they took something from me.
I had to like carry both of them, and I had a lot of help. I would never pretend like I didn't have help. Your dad was there for me. My mother was there for me. I had tremendous help. You guys helped. Well, each one of you had a baby. But the reality of it is that when you have kids, now I got 4 kids. Oof. So I just did not feel like dressing up all the time and putting makeup on and stuff like that. But now when I put makeup on for like special occasions and like for your birthday, special events, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. But your makeup journey to me has just been extraordinary because I've watched you really learn and really put in the time and the energy to actually learn how to do your makeup. I think, and I applaud you for that. I never took classes or anything, but you're good at your own makeup. I honestly think you could do your makeup as good as the professionals can do your makeup.
Now, Mom, I think that for me, doing my makeup came from like necessity. Like I had to learn how to do my makeup simply because I was always dealing with so much acne issues.
Yeah.
And then I reached a point where I kind of like resented makeup because of that. Because I was just like, no matter what I did, my skin wasn't getting better. Wearing makeup, it made me feel good, but then the texture was always off. And then I took a break from makeup and my skin still wasn't getting better. And then I stopped really knowing how to do my makeup because I wasn't doing it as much anymore.
Right.
And makeup just stopped being fun. It became about hiding. Instead of having fun with makeup and just giving you glam and having fun with being glam, it became like trying to hide my scarring, trying to hide my discoloration, trying to just hide everything. And so I just couldn't no longer have fun with it. So I've had like a very weird relationship with makeup based off of my weird relationship with my skin and with my acne problems. Mm-hmm. And then I think for a while after I I kind of like remove myself from it and just was kind of like focusing not really on having fun and doing this glam thing, but just kind of like doing light beats every now and then and doing what I needed to do for work. I found my way back to makeup in a different way, in a new way. But I will be honest that it's interesting. Like makeup can be fun. You can really feel fun and good about it when you feel good about you.
That's right.
And I think it can be tough sometimes, especially when you see so many people having fun with beauty, and beauty standards are always changing, and you got the glass skin and the this and that and all that kind of stuff, and it can really get in your head. But one thing I do like about the guest that we're going to be talking to, Jackie Aina, is she always made it very approachable, made it very accessible, always was clear about where her discoloration went and how she did this with this color, and, how she made it fun for herself and so conversational and educating. I think that's something that really inspired especially young Black girls that would go on YouTube and not be able to see anybody that reflected them in image. And then also talk about issues and things that were concerning them that they didn't really know how to address. And yeah, I don't know. I think makeup, it can be fun, but again, it always comes from the conversations you're having with yourself. And so that's why I'm really excited to talk to her and just, get into how she was able to change the conversation around makeup and make sure that it remained like a fun and explorative thing, as opposed to something that felt, almost exclusive in a way that can feel intimidating.
Absolutely. Well, remember when you were on Broadway, you had to do your own makeup.
Yep.
And because that's like the rule on Broadway, that you do your own makeup. And you did a great job with doing that. And I love makeup. I love hair. I love makeup. I like glam. I like the whole thing. I like entertainment. All of this, they all intertwine. But I agree with you is that I don't care how much makeup you put on your face. If you don't feel good inside, then, that makeup, you got to do the work from inside out.
Yeah, it's true. It's tough, but it's true. And sometimes, hey, if you need it, you want it, do it. Because fake it till you make it works too.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get into this convo with Jackie.
All right.
I may be grown, but I do love the magic of back to school season. Okay, new beginnings, new stationery, I love it all. Plus, I've always been a sucker for good old-fashioned collegiate drama every now and then, which is why this month I decided to listen to Donna Tartt's The Secret History on Audible. Yes, for all my dark academia girlies, this one's for you. Okay, it's about a group of co-eds who suddenly, in the middle of the semester, find themselves embroiled in murder and blackmail. The way the author builds the complex atmospheric world at an elite New England college, it's like I can see it all playing out in my mind as I listen. The characters, the mystery, the darkness, and the immersive audio. It's absolutely captivating. And that's the thing about Audible. Listening to stories like this just takes your mind to places it's never been before. Whether it's fiction, nonfiction, self-help, you name it. When you listen, your imagination soars. There's a whole new level of possibility that opens up. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their whole entire catalog. And let me tell you, their selection is off the charts. So do yourself a favor and try Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/Keke or text KEKE to 500-500. That's audible.com/Keke or text KEKE to 500. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got some more listening to do. Baby, this is Keke. Okay, guys, I am absolutely buzzing with excitement for today's guest. She's a beauty guru, okay? A fierce advocate for representation and inclusivity, the founder of her own brand, and a true game changer in the industry. You probably know her from her incredible YouTube channel. She won the NAACP Image Award for YouTuber of the Year in 2019 and in 2020. Of course, I'm talking about the one and only Jackie Aina. Welcome to the show, Jackie!
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for the intro. That was impressive.
You're very welcome, Miss Ma'am. So how's everything been going? Obviously, you started Forvr Mood, your lifestyle brand, some years ago. How has that been going for you?
Life-changing. When you're a creator, you're a brand, but it's not the same as having like a tangible product, right? Like I'm not shipping stuff. When I'm an influencer, that's a brand too. You're not getting a W-2. You're learning how to do your own taxes, how to pay taxes. It's a whole different process. So I thought that process would have prepared me for becoming a brand founder. And no, you start all over again.
Wow.
There's definitely skills and things that I've learned that I've been able to take into being a brand founder. And I'm like, okay, probably would do that differently, learn things a little bit differently, but it's insanely different. Like, I feel like now I've never worked as hard as I have in my entire career.
But that is very interesting because, like you said, as an influencer, you kind of are the brand.
For sure.
But then a brand founder, like, what does that ask of you that being the brand yourself doesn't?
Oh my God. Okay. So it's so much. So when you are a creator, you have like, you can have employees. So you can have like an assistant, you can have a producer, but they work with you sometimes on like a contractor basis. So they're not really tied to your business in some ways. And they can also take other work. So if you have like a video editor, for example, this person could be editing for like 10 different talent. So they're not necessarily dependent on you, right? Versus when you have a brand, you have a company, like you have employees who are getting health insurance, who are relying on you to get paid.
Now, that's what you call being a good boss, because everybody don't get the health insurance.
Well, I mean, I think also, I feel like some good advice is like, how do you know? Because everybody is not meant to be a brand founder at all. That's right. Period.
It's true.
And there's too many people being like, we need to start our own. We need to start, because Black people love being like, we need to. Actually, a lot of we don't. Like, it's actually an insane amount of responsibility. Yeah. And if you can't handle it, then I would say don't, because it's a lot of weight to carry. But I was going to say, the differentiating factor is not only that you have to like pay and hire your own employees, but my whole reason for wanting to start a brand is like, I wanted to change what being a brand founder looks like, in addition to like all the other things I was passionate about. But like, I've had terrible jobs. I've had awful bosses. I've had toxic workplace environments that I've had to work in. So that also, I think you have to factor in what exactly do you want your company to do for other people? You know what I mean? And if you can't, then I don't know. Like, it's so many different things to factor, Keke.
But I feel like your brand had such a through line, because even with you saying this, when I think about when we first met you, it was the same thing. From who you were in beauty and makeup and how accessible you made makeup feel to people. Like, I first met you, like, I think just influencing, like we would be at the same things, whether it was for Essence or some brand company. And I was like, who is this beautiful Black girl? And then I remember working with my makeup artist, Kenya, and she was telling me how she first started watching your YouTube videos. I said, that's that girl. I've been always seeing her, knowing about her. And as I started to learn more about you, it really resonated with me how you were a great representation for young women that wanted to do makeup and wanted to find beauty in a way that felt real and not superficial. When you first started your YouTube page, you were already working as a makeup artist. Yeah. Was that something you were feeling in the industry that you wanted to change?
Oh my God. Okay. There was a lot going on with me personally and professionally when I first started on YouTube. So if you're not familiar with me, I first started on YouTube in 2009. This was like, what the hell are you doing talking to a camera? Like, are you good? Like, you need to go talk to that lady. Like, it was not normal to vlog and stuff. It was weird. But at the time I was married. I got married really young. I got married at 21. And then I got divorced really young too. That's a different story.
Come on, Leo.
But I was just going through a lot. I was also in the military at the time. So,
wow.
Yeah, I was in the reserves. And so I had a lot of free time, not a lot of money, and I was miserable. Yeah. And when I was pursuing makeup at the time, I was getting online and like finding these communities of people who like love beauty as much as I did. And I thought it was literally just me. I thought I was just like the weirdo in my family, because nobody in my family was like glam like that. Not at all. But I found this community. And it was really my best friend being like, you need to start a YouTube channel. Like, I know how much you love YouTube. You're watching the girls. You're taking these looks that like you're seeing on white creators and like Asian creators. Because back then, that's really who kind of dominated the platform in the beauty space. And I was making the looks like brown girl friendly. So my best friend was like, you don't think people don't want to see it on YouTube? And I was like, not really. Like,
girl, yes.
I was like, not really. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't really want to be on camera. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Like, I'm not really.
You're funny as hell.
I know I think that people don't understand, like, when you're a Leo, like, I know how to turn that button on and off. But at my true
like the people.
core, I'm at home. My phone's on Do Not Disturb. It's too much sometimes. So even just the idea of being on camera, because, I'm sure Ken can probably, shout out to Ken. We love Ken.
We love Ken. Base
That's
Ken don't play around.
Base Ken, not the one, not the little one, the big one. Okay, period. I love me some Ken. But we're so used to kind of being behind the scenes, like not in front of the camera.
Sure, yeah.
Makeup artistry is different now, though. In 2009, you were not like the star it wasn't until like Mario Dedivanovic became like Kim K's makeup artist. And that's kind of where the makeup artist became the influencer at the same time. So I started at that era, was not interested in being on camera whatsoever, did not have on-camera presence, like wasn't into it. But then my best friend was like, well, you ain't doing nothing else, girl. Like, just start. So I was like, all right, you got me there. So that's how I started. Literally, that's literally how I started. And to answer your question, yeah, I was feeling a void, but I really thought it was just like a small niche community. I was like, well, if I'm making these looks brown girl friendly on myself, maybe a couple other people can, relate and find out or learn something too.
What I feel like I've learned from you and from people that are inspired by your work is there's this intimidation factor with makeup that it feels like, oh, I just want my stuff to look so good. I just want to be so glamorous. But when I feel from you, it's like, which it makes total sense with Forvr Mood and you having this lifestyle brand, is it's more about making yourself feel good.
1,000%.
Doing something that makes you just get up in the morning and get into it. And even in the way that you would educate in your videos, what made you decide to not continue in the makeup field specifically?
There was, again, because it's like, I feel like my life is not like a straight and narrow path. It's so zigzaggy and there's detours, there's closed doors, there's failed opportunities.
Because I'll be honest, I want my glam closet to be filled with Jackie Aina makeup.
Everybody
Even
did.
still to this day. Like, I'm waiting for blush, eyeshadow, lip gloss. Like, you know what I mean?
I love blush, too. I love blush. It's so different now, Keke. Okay, so deep breath, because I don't want to spill too much tea. Okay,
Please spill tea.
I mean, the real tea is that COVID happened and completely shifted the makeup industry. Really? So I'm sure you saw this on the back end as a entertainer, creative yourself, where studios were not, people were not working.
Yeah, of course.
Logistically, starting a brand during that time period was a nightmare for even well-established brands. But in the makeup industry, it was a little quiet. It started to get a little quiet. People were not going out. The makeup industry completely changed. And so I come from the beat face era.
Yes.
Put Black Barbie down. Black Barbie down. Where's that third layer of setting spray? I need another layer of powder. We would pack it on. And then it was we all at home on quarantine and the girls were slick back bun, your skin but better. I'm like, yeah, that's cute for
the glass skin is taking me out. No more of that.
That's just, first of all,
I don't want to deal with it.
It's a made up word, first of all, because it's just oily skin. What the hell does that even mean? I mean, girls, put on some...
I want glam.
I want glam. I want lashes. I want a sculpted brow. I want 3 layers of highlighted concealer. I want blush into my lower lash line.
But what is the true?
Girl.
What is the true secret though? Because we watch the videos and it's tough when it comes to this glam. Is it just practice makes perfect? Literally?
So I'm gonna give you an analogy that's gonna sound really cocky, but I promise you it's not. Actually, I'm gonna use you as the example.
Okay.
Because you're Keke Palmer. So you're a seasoned expert at your craft, which is acting.
That's right. Okay,
and many layers of acting. If you taught me how to do that, even if you showed me exactly how you did it, down to inflections in your voice, down to facial expressions, down to how you memorize things, even if you gave me the exact sauce, I could still technically know how to do it, but I'm not going to be Keke Palmer.
Okay, so I'm hearing 2 things. I'm hearing I will never have my face be as Jackie's.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, don't be so hard on yourself, because if I don't know, Shaq, I don't really know sports. I'm just gonna think of somebody. If Shaq taught me how to play basketball, it doesn't mean I'm gonna be Shaq. You know what I mean?
You're gonna be you.
I'm gonna know the motions. I'm gonna know
that.
the bones. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna be going to the Olympics.
But this is important. This is important because you're saying is embrace you and what makes you good at it, and then there might be something new. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Beatles was trying to be B.B. King. They wasn't B.B. King though. They became the Beatles.
Could never. But shout out to them. But it's okay. But no, but also one of the things that's gratifying for me is when someone walks away from my content and they're like, I can't do what you do, but I'm comfortable enough to do my own wedding makeup or to do my own makeup when I go to an event or to be photographed. To me, you're doing amazing. That's good enough. It doesn't have to look like me, because guess what? I'm not the only expert in my field. Why would everybody want to do makeup like me? That's what makes it fun.
Look at you, boo.
Nah, girl.
So
because this ain't even gonna work for everybody. Everybody cannot. Some people look amazing with just instant moisturizer.
That is true.
I'm just saying.
But I look best with the big face.
Same.
Yeah.
Not to be biased, but.
Now, who were your beauty icons growing up?
Ooh. Oh, ain't no much has changed, honey. I still love me some Sam Fine.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Love Sam Fine. He doesn't get talked about enough now.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. Sam Fine walked, so whoever your fave is now could run. Like,
I couldn't
for real,
agree
for real.
more.
Like,
I couldn't agree more. Sam Fine,
legend.
Kevin Aucoin.
Kevin Aucoin. Come on, don't you know the greats? Were you a glam girl growing up, for
I
real?
was a glam girl, but the thing is makeup is always changing.
So much.
So sometimes I remember I was doing my makeup and I was talking to Kenya. I was like, why do I look 2012? It's 2024. Like, well, how do you keep up with the makeup trends? Because I'm not lying, girl. Like, makeup
Time out.
changes like that.
What does 2012 look like, though?
You know what it looks like. That 2012 makeup is just not as glam. It's like fake. Like, everything is like blurred. It's almost like you know what I mean? Like the makeup.
What 2012?
It's not clear. It's not as clear as what y'all are doing now. What y'all doing now? It still has a smooth gradient to it, but it's a little bit more of a pop. Like, everything is a little bit more carved out. In 2012, everything was just like soft.
Well,
and
girl, you
blurred.
also could be looking at FaceApp. You also
I seen you
could.
cussing the girls out on Real. Like,
No.
this FaceApp?
Because
y'all gotta stop.
There's
It's
one.
danger.
Okay, I just got introduced to FaceApp like 6 months ago, and I was like, suddenly it makes sense because there's one setting on there, and it's not the setting itself; it's how you use it. It's called, I think it's
Hollywood.
the Hollywood one. I was thinking bold glamour. No, that's a TikTok filter, but it's
Hollywood
the
5.
TikTok bold glamour equivalent in FaceApp. If you crank it all the way up to level 5. I promise
Yeah,
you,
it's
you don't
true.
fear nothing. You don't even fear God. I feel like if you can Photoshop your picture that bad, post it anywhere publicly, you don't give. I'm not even gonna cuss. You don't give a damn about nothing. Nobody. You know what? I want no issues with you. Those be the
It's
people.
so true. It's so true. I love when you call that out because I'm like, yes. Because it stresses you out when you don't know the secrets. Like, how
Stresses
y'all
me
doing
out.
that?
No, but the secret is the face looks like that, but then the rest of there's a
There's a discrepancy.
The drapes don't match the curtains, so like I'm not sure what I'm looking
Pictures is
at.
always
like,
here. Pictures is always
It's
from here up.
You just put on a turtleneck, boo. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the person. I know everybody is like natural, live in your skin. I don't know. My hot take is why should I? Because there's how many billion people on the internet? Half the time, people don't even show up as themselves. Why do I gotta show my rawest, unfiltered self?
It makes me want to ask you, what is a trend, a makeup trend currently that you're just like, I'm good, boo?
So I actually feel like there's room for a little bit of everything because everybody has their thing. It may not work for me, but everybody has their thing. I don't know. I can't think of anything that's like wildly offensive. Because, the offensive era of beauty was like 2014.
Now, what was happening then? Give me a reminder of what happened in 2014.
Okay, so this was the era of like the beauty challenges, like who could go viral, who could do the most tomfoolery.
Oh,
you know, for
tomfoolery,
a
I
check, for
cannot.
some likes. This is like deep in the Instagram peak lore. It was a lot, but people would do stuff like blending my foundation with Christian Louboutins. Literally pumping foundation on the back of a shoe and
Go to hell.
we're dead serious.
What? So how do you? Did that change your relationship with being on YouTube? Seeing the change and the skyrocketing of people such as yourself becoming larger than life, and then it becoming kind of this cash grab. How did you feel as you started to see it change?
You know what? I feel like there's a lot of good discussions happening around this now about how when you're a celebrity, and I don't necessarily agree with this, but there's almost this era of like, you signed up for this. You opted in to the chaos that comes with this job. But I think what a lot of people forget is that in 2009, I signed up for this. Like, what? Like, it's almost this like the influencer is like not the celeb. We're almost like celebrity adjacent. But in that era, like when I started this as a job, like it wasn't like that at all. So seeing it kind of develop into this, you have to be careful what you say. You have to be, and that's not necessarily a bad thing either, because obviously if you have a lot of eyes watching you, you should use your platform
a level of
responsibly.
responsibility.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I don't believe people saying cancel culture ruins lives. Some of y'all need to be canceled. All right, we'll start there. Some of y'all need to pack it up. Okay. Some of y'all are doing crazy things with your platform.
Okay.
But what I will say is the lines are getting really blurred in a way that's not really I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be more said about this specifically with content creators, because there's things like harassment, like stalking,
I've
like
talked
doxing.
about this. I've talked about this before, where I feel like you, and then I also, and maybe this is just like kind of me like surrendering to it, is that as a public figure, I have learned to have the boundaries of understanding what I can expect from other people. Yeah. And it is unfortunate, but I do kind of expect, I don't want to say it, but the bullying, the I want to know this, I want to know that. It doesn't mean I give into it.
Right.
But I don't know that I can expect you to not do that when that's how you perceive me.
That's true.
But then it's up to us, which I think you've done a really good job at. I mean, you're known online as like, she'll fucking block your ass. And I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? Too. Because it's you putting up a boundary. And it's saying, look, I fuck with y'all heavy, but I'm not going to speak on this. I'm not going to let you think you can speak on this. And this is, respect me and I'll respect you.
For sure.
I think that's what it takes. Because people are never going to stop wanting. They're just not. I wish that was something, but it's like, no, some people going to want more and feel entitled to it. And it's all we can learn to do more and more in this day and age is not give in to that. And not be afraid.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but also to like set a standard. So it feels extreme when I do it because nobody else does. Because I'm gonna just keep it all the way buck. Keke. The reason why a lot of people, I'm not gonna say everybody, but at least a reason why a lot of creators specifically don't like to say not too much to their audience is because, hot take, I'm not saying this is every creator. They capitalize off of that parasocial relationship and use it to their advantage.
Of course.
Personally, I would rather have peace. I'd rather look at my audience like real people. So like if I'm having this conversation with a real life friend and I'm like, girl, you doing too much, I'm going to tell her, girl, you doing too much. Like, actually, I don't really want to talk about that. You know what I mean? And I value having like a respectable relationship with the people who follow me as opposed to being like, they treat me like crap, but hey, at least they're buying product. Like, nah, that's not really like the example I personally want to set. And I know other people don't say anything most times because one, they're afraid, but also sometimes they're just be like, well, whatever. Like, I'm willing to exploit my family, my kids for a check. And that's how some people really are. And it's like, I'm just not, at the end of the day, I need to be able to like sleep at night, knowing that I love what I do. I didn't compromise the ounce of privacy that I have, you know what I mean?
I really love that because I think it's true. And like you said, it's not pointing any fingers or saying anything, but there is something to be said when people don't have boundaries. Yeah. That you then have to question, why are they not having any boundaries? Is it being exploitative? Is it, and sometimes we're not asking those questions because we just want the tea.
For sure. But sometimes there's not always, it's just like, I just please stop asking. Like, it's just not, I'm not really cool talking about that. Sometimes I literally just say, I don't really want to talk about that just to prove a point because I don't have to. Yes. Like, there's nothing to dig for. Like, I don't think it matters, Just, it's okay. That. Like, I've created a really curated box that I'm like, this is safe, this is not. Yes. This is cool, this is... I
talk about that in my book, Master of Me. It comes out in November, where I'm literally like, there is a relation that when you speaking of this parasocial relationships, and it's interesting too because you have to get everybody around you on board too, because they'll start attacking everybody around you.
That's true.
Where it's like, this is my life, this is what I've dealt with, this is what I know, and these are the boundary lines, these are the guidelines, and I want you to stay within that. And if not, then you just won't hear nothing from me. It'll just be cut off. And I've had to also explain that in my life to my family and friends where it's like, I'm not going to tell them everything about you and you and you. That doesn't mean it's not true and it's not real, but it's just because this is not this is my job. Imagine going to your job. I always tell people too when they're wondering these things about a career in entertainment is, imagine going to your job. Let's say you work, I don't know, at I'm trying to think of somewhere, Bank of America.
Yeah.
Okay? And you going in there, so... what'd you do last night? I heard when you walked in, I seen your tail light was busted.
Right.
What happened? Who did that? Or you and your mama, y'all good? You would literally be like,
you'd be weirded out.
Get out my business. Like you would be like, yo, go to your cubicle real quick.
Mind your business.
Pop you. And I don't think people see it that way with our industry, especially like you said, as a content creator. There's a totally different thing from Leonardo DiCaprio, where it's like, oh, I own you. I could touch you. You got you. You know what I mean? But it's still like, yo, I got my own life. I got my own thing. This is just my job. So I think it is important that we continue to like massage what that is and like set boundaries for the expectations for that. Because, people got to have their life,
And we got to stop moving the goalposts too, because it wasn't like this. I know people are going to keep changing rules. That's what they're going to do. But you can't get mad at people who resist them, because to this day, whenever people say that's what you signed up for, I quite literally say that's the exact opposite, actually. Because if I wanted to be treated like a celebrity, then I would just become one. Yeah. I'd be on the Housewives. I'd be on a show.
Would love to see you on one of those shows.
No, Keke, straight jacket. It would give it straight jacket. Like, I'm not even joking.
Just give that vibe so good.
Baby, this is Keke Palmer, yeah.
Braids, faux locks, twists, and knots. Your girl has dabbled with all of them, okay? And the freedom and joy I experience while staying true to myself and my ancestors by rocking my natural hair is unparalleled. I love my kinks and twists and coils, and you should too. Knowing there are Black folks out here still getting discriminated against for how we wear our hair doesn't sit right with me. And our amazing sponsor, Dove, agrees. In 2019, Dove co-founded the Crown Coalition to advocate for the passage of the Crown Act, which prohibits race-based hair discrimination based on hair texture and protective styles in the workplace and in K-12 public schools and charter schools. Dove supports the Crown movement by driving awareness of the issue of race-based hair discrimination, advocating for the Crown Act petition signatures, and championing a world that respects and celebrates the beauty of Black hair. And not to get y'all all after school special, but with a goal of reaching 1 million signatures, we need y'all to show up and show out. Okay, so join Dove and taking action to help end race-based hair discrimination by signing the Crown Act petition at dove.com/crown. How did you deal with, this is such a good question. Like, how people became quite literally obsessed with you. And then like you said, it's not really your personality. Like, it's this thing that you love that you're doing. Yeah. But like, there's a resistance to that. Like, I imagine your friends or your family, like you said, your best friend, were they like, girl, you need to, you know what I mean? How did you feel about like kind of being able to say, no, even though this could make me this X, Y, and Z money and da.
Yeah.
How did you like kind of push some of that away?
Well, here's the thing. In the beginning, it wasn't really like that bad because, and I don't want this to turn into people thinking I'm just like ragging on everybody don't follow me. Like, absolutely not. I love my community. Okay, good. Yeah. But I think it was manageable because it was not so, I actually don't think people were like obsessed with Jackie the person. I think they like had this idea of like what I represented, and we had a shared obsession for beauty. Yeah. So it was actually kind of like, okay, this is fun. Like, we could both be obsessed. Like, what's good at Sephora? You know what I mean? So it was kind of like fun, and it allowed me to build that relationship with the audience that didn't just focus on me and center me. Does that make sense? So there was like a common...
I love everything you're
saying.
saying.
There was a common shared love. So even though it was a bit of adjusting, I'm not going to lie, it is a bit of adjusting to get used to, because as a creator, you're like, whoa, this is what it's turning into. I didn't know it would turn into this when I first started. Like, what do I do? How do I handle?
I think you're having a resistance, and you've always had a resistance to idolism, is what I'm hearing.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm
Don't
hearing.
let me start preaching.
Yeah, you love your audience, but you just want to make sure they know it's us. We vibed out.
It
ain't
us. Me. Exactly.
Yeah,
like, we literally talked about this in a video like 2 years ago, because I had to tell people, stop calling me auntie. I don't know if you remember this, but there was a whole era of like Auntie Jackie, and then it was cute until it wasn't cute. And it was like, okay, you're 40. Like, why are you calling me yo auntie? Like, you got kids. Like, I'm confused.
Jackie,
like,
please,
why am I
also
auntie?
So Leo of your ass.
No, it's
Leo
actually
don't play with that shit.
No, it was because I was going through a lot of personal things, being the eldest, because I'm the oldest of 7 in my family.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know that.
Oh, trauma, straitjacket. So I had my own, I have one parent that's an immigrant. So the stakes for the firstborn daughter in an African household is you quite literally have to be perfect.
Oh my God.
So what I realized is like a lot of my personal life, and it was really tough having this conversation, because a lot of people were like, oh my God, you're putting into words something I never thought I realized in myself. Like, thank you for verbalizing. Like, I've been going through the same thing too. What I didn't realize, because I was young, like, you don't know everything when you first start something. I started YouTube at 21. I didn't know anything. I thought I did, but I didn't. But what I started to realize is my personal life is starting to mirror how people treat me professionally. And I had to say,
interesting.
How am I allowing and playing into that. And I started to feel like the community, actually, I'm not even going to say the community. It really wasn't the people who supported me. It was like, I think the people adjacent, like in the beauty world, who knew who I was. And they were like, it just felt like the pedestal just kept getting higher and higher. And the separation between Jackie as a person and like Jackie's community was starting to, there was a bigger gap. And it was like, I'm not encouraging that. That's something that other people are doing. What can I do to change? And I started to realize, like, I feel like I'm always going to run into this issue if people still keep putting me in this auntie, mother, you know what I mean?
Somebody they're leaning on, somebody they're learning from. And you feel like, hey, guys, the truth is, I'm also still learning.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's honestly, it wasn't an issue for me because people, you know what people turned it into, which was actually really hurtful.
Yeah.
They turned it into, you just don't want to admit you're getting old.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like,
yeah,
I'm so sorry. There's
not even
nothing you're doing that I'm not like. Do you understand that like the wisdom that you get from getting older? Like I would never. To understand like what I've been through, I would never want to go backwards.
But also that's a pseudo emotion. Like it's never about age. You know what I mean? It's really
that.
never about, it's always about something underneath. Usually it's about, like you said, a change, an evolution, a trigger of representing something that you no longer want to have with you, which is these crazy expectations. And it's dope that you were able to see beyond that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we just do take the surface emotion. Oh yeah, it's that. And we never really get to the bottom of it. Yeah. So I'm curious, when you realized, when that moment happened and you know, you were kind of, it seemed like you were standing up to that, but you were really standing up to so much more. I thought
I was standing up to just that, but then I think the conversation that took place after, I was like, oh, y'all are tweaking now. I don't know about y'all. Like, I don't know, some people took it way too far.
Yeah.
But it felt good talking about it.
Yeah.
It was I think it was the first time in a long time I actually was like humanized.
Yes.
And I wasn't, like, people were starting to tiptoe that line and like push me further, and it was like, I don't really like the way.
How did you change that in your life, in your actual life? Because I will admit, you are such a remarkable person, and I can't imagine what that is like for you. You know what I mean? To be wake up in the morning, I'm bomb. Every time you see me, I'm on point. Every time I say something, it's eloquent. Obviously, it comes with a lot of pressure. Yeah. But it is who you are. So how did you kind of get through that moment of what that meant for you, of like, yes, I am remarkable, yes, I am amazing, but like, let me give myself a break.
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like?
I think, to be honest with you, having a support system.
Yeah.
And finally being comfortable, and every firstborn daughter will know what this feels like, but like finally getting to a place where it's like, oh, I actually don't have to do this. Like,
the saying no gag.
The saying no gag, which is tough, Keke.
Girl, I'm not the firstborn daughter. I'm a middle child, but you know, everybody want our shit.
Yes.
So it has its own hang-ups.
Yes, I get it. No, it's tough. Like, it's really, really tough saying or not falling into that, I'll just do it myself.
Yes.
I got it. And I started to realize, like, the women who came before me, my friends that are in their 40s, I have friends in their 50s, I have friends in their 60s. That's why I say, when people say this, like, when it turns into the whole ageism conversation, I'm like, it would never be that. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't want to offend nobody, but it would quite literally never be that. Because the women that I know that are even older than me are not doing what they could have done if they were younger. Like, it just wouldn't have physically been possible.
No.
So,
I mean, also, and I look back at my 20s, and obviously 20s, it was great, but honestly, it was really exhausting.
It was exhausting.
It was, oh my God, it was exhausting, and you know, everything was supposed to be so great, and it wasn't. Like, your concept of expectations, like at 30, I'm surprised. Right. Oh, wow, love that. Like, everything, it just feels different. I do think that there's some truth to the statement of, you know, not to make it all sound, but when they say, because I never understood that the youth is wasted on the young concept. I never really understood that.
What does that mean when people say that?
So what I think it means now to me is that, like, you only can get older to have the peace that we have. Like, the older that we get, that peace comes with age. And you might wish that you were like, oh, damn, if I was 20, I would have had that. But it's not possible.
I don't think, I see
it's not possible to have it, because the experiences you have in your 20s is what makes 30s better. The experience you have in your 30s is what makes 40s better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So to your point, like what you just said, the women that you know now that are older, that are doing things that they're doing now, they couldn't have done it.
It's not possible.
If they were, right.
Yeah.
And so it's like this, that's I think what it means is like, you know, it's really sarcastic. It's not really so much that it's wasted on the young. It's that's give yourself a break. You know what I mean? When you're younger, it's never going to be what it is when you're older.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
look forward, because that's where the magic happens.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Kind of vibe is how I take it.
And then don't look so forward that you also miss out on what you could learn and experience in your 20s, because my 20s were traumatizing, Keke.
Girl, me
and
too.
It was awful. Like, never would want to relive some of those things. But sadly and unfortunately, it made me who I was. And you know what? Also, something that I really struggled with, back to the whole auntie thing, a lot of people glorify, you're so this, you're so that, you're so everything. And I would never tell people what I had to experience to get there.
Yes.
So it gets to a point where it's like, I don't only want to be reminded of.
And they don't believe you. Because
They
now,
would never believe me.
Because now you're so on this pedestal.
They would never believe
Girl, that's
me.
the most sickening part. Because, and then let's take it back all the way to when you started and what you started for. It's that communal relationship. It's that you see yourself in me, and now you done put me up so here that now you can't even see yourself in me. So what I'm really doing?
So we've got to go back to what we started with.
Yes, it's
so we can be
so
fun for both of us.
It's
you know,
so true, and I feel the same way. Where it's like, that's why I've done what I've done. When I started performing and stuff like that, it all came from a place of community. My parents, they were like, well, if you're going to perform, then, you know, the same way that your friend was talking to you about, encouraging you about what people want to see in you, that they see in you, was the same thing that my parents did. But then it gets to a point where you have success, where the very people that you're speaking to, they cannot see themselves in your success. And so then it becomes this thing where the whole reason why you did it, it can no longer even be impactful.
That's why
it's really tough.
Yeah, it is tough. And that's what motivates me and inspires me. Yes. So the moment I start seeing like, oh, we are deviating, we need to bring it back. Because you need to see the people that you admire go through stuff too.
Yes, and see yourself in them. Otherwise, what's the point? Yeah, it's so
facts.
True.
I don't think I'm so far removed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever will be. Yeah. I hope I don't.
And to that point, the truth is that you also are remarkable. But that doesn't mean that nobody else is. I think that's the whole point. It's like, guys, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying I'm not great and awesome, but I'm just saying, like, don't let my great and awesome stop you from thinking you're like let's remember we're a community.
Exactly.
There's not, it's a team. I really feel you on that.
Yes, girl.
That's that Leo Virgo energy. It's just like boom, 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 boom.
But you know what? I think in order to be a good leader, because like Leos are, the leader of the pack and everything. But I think in order to be a good leader is to also understand, like, I can't do everything. I can't be everything, and nor do I want to. Like, I like sitting amongst other people that have value, not just positioning myself as the one true person with all the wisdom. You know what I mean? Like, because
I do think we're in a culture. I do think we're in a culture now, and not everybody thinks this way. You always got to preface that, because I'm not trying to put this on everybody, but celebrity, fame, culture, all that stuff has put it in a position where I think sometimes it feels easier to be just like, you do it. It kind of takes this accountability pressure off.
Okay.
Where everybody is like, it's you,
this is true. This is true. And this goes back to the firstborn daughter thing, where I felt like there's a lot of situations that I put on myself.
Yeah.
Because I let other people gas me into thinking I was the only one who could do it. But the reality is, and I want anybody who's watching this to really listen, the reality is they're not just encouraging you to do it because they think you can do it. And I know it sounds all nice and da-da-da. It's because they don't want to do it themselves.
That is true.
The real tea is they don't want to do it themselves. And there's a lot of people who just don't like looking in the mirror, looking inward, and doing their own work. So they like being like, you're going to be the one. And I love a good encouragement. Sometimes other people will see things in you that you don't often see in yourself. I've had that moment with my real good friends that have been like, you're not maximizing where you need to be. That's a little different from someone being like, actually, no, like, you do it. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't feel like it.
Yeah, it's so true. Or yeah, I think all of that. Or like, I don't think that it can be done, so do it.
You know what? Then what the hell makes you think I'm going to do it if it's never been done?
But then you do. And then it's like,
then they think you can conquer everything. Then it becomes a double-edged sword. Because then I'm like, now I'm expected to do everything.
It's so true.
But that's true as well. Like my dream job that is this job now didn't exist in 2000. I couldn't even pray for that.
Okay.
I couldn't even pray for it.
Some things are just meant to be.
Yeah.
And that brings me again to Forvr Mood, which she did, like, I know what you would have expected, right? I mean, Jackie Aina, she would come in here with the Forvr Mood package for your girl Keeks. That's not what happened.
Girl, we ain't got nothing.
She is all sold out, but she told me she's going to give me a little something. She's going to give me a little treat later, so I'm very excited about that. But
I'm going to give her my personal. Should I do it right now?
yes!
Hand me
That
the
little
Birkin.
pink bag, that pink bag,
Bring
honey.
the whole bag.
Y'all don't even know. She really did come here and give the whole vibe.
This is the second bottle I've given away in 24 hours. I was at a dinner yesterday with my friend Wendy, who started Urban Decay in Cali Ray. It was her birthday.
Oh my gosh, shout out to Wendy.
Yeah, shout out to Wendy. And literally someone was like, what perfume are you wearing? And I literally was like, girl, you're not going to find it. Just take mine. She was like, are you sure? And I was like, I'm dead serious. So Keke loves NDA. I'm wearing NDA right now. You were giving me compliments on it. It's been a little used.
Smells so good.
really
I'm really
good.
not playing with y'all right now.
And you're going to love this in the fall.
Oh,
Period.
Baby.
Ooh, you're going to love it in the fall, Keke. This is by the fireplace. This is cozy. This is cold weather. This is vanilla. This is smoked tobacco.
ooh, and I'm a
spiced
vanilla
rum.
girl. And I
Then
love the
you're
little
gonna
smoked
love
tobacco.
this.
Give me a little masculine
A
edge.
little smoky?
A little boss bitch vibe.
Yes, exactly.
Love this. Thank
Ooh,
you.
Okay, prop. Yeah.
Okay, we give a little
Let's make sure
shot.
she's sparkling though. Yeah, that's for you. I
Okay, let me
do
see.
give personal bottles away. If you ever see me out in public, and yeah, because Forvr Mood is sold out, y'all. Like you cannot find in perfumes nowhere. We never even sent out PR when we launched our perfume.
But girl, this is the thing that you are that girl. You know what I mean? All jokes aside, all pressure aside, hey, sometimes, the girls that get it. The ones that don't. And I want to know what is next for you. What can we expect, girl? Like, are we going to get Jackie Aina in a movie? Like, what? Like, are you
Hell
about to
no.
be acting? Like, what is it going to be next? Because I love everything.
That's funny because I actually thought about acting like just for fun.
Why not?
Just because I like to try new things. I don't think I was very good at it, but like I took like a class and I took like just a little, like a little improv. It was fun. I think
Very cute.
it's always okay to try everything at least once. But I'm absolutely really taking this brand. Like I used to not even 5 years ago. If you had asked me what's next 7 years ago, I would have been like, I want to be in like every industry and I want to start a new brand here. Now that I have a brand and I know what it requires, I'm actually so hyper focused on Forvr Mood. I don't even want to talk about nothing else until
I know that's right.
Forvr Mood is, if not exactly where we want it to be as brand founders, because Dennis is my co-founder.
Yes,
If shout out to my boo. If it's not exactly or like 90% where we want it to be, I'm not focusing or touching nothing until it's like at least 90% there. And I think
respect
to be
that.
good at something, you kind of have to, you can't get distracted. Because, and you of all people, I'm sure know.
It could be a lot to take on so much. I've had to,
Yes.
get myself together. It could be, but when you have a lot of ideas, you want to go for them. You get so excited.
You have a lot of ideas. You have a lot of support. You have one person saying you should do this. I have a guy. I have a number. I can set you up with this. I can do this. And it's extremely tempting.
Yeah.
It's extremely easy to get distracted. But I've learned how to practice better discernment and understanding. Actually, I kind of need to like stick with this and really stay hyper fixated and focus on it. And not get too excited because ideas are great, but I got life to live. Like,
Yeah.
I could do those things in 5 years, 10 years. If I want to, I may decide in 5-10 years, I may not even want to do that anymore.
You're such
You
a
know?
fierce businesswoman that I think anything that you put your mind to is going to work out. And just seeing how you've transformed and evolved in spaces that I don't think anybody could have seen coming is just a joy to watch. So props and hats off to you. Keep doing it.
Thank you. I feel the same way about you, Keke. Like, just paved the way and just how much discernment and like, I hate to even say this word wisdom when talking about someone in childhood age, because I feel like you should be allowed to just be a child, but it requires a lot of you to take on the amount of wisdom that you did to get into this industry at such a young age.
Thank you
And
so much.
that's, girl, props to you for I really hope you lay in bed at night every night thinking like, well done. And even if everything stopped here, Keke, I hope you fall asleep at night knowing I've done enough. Like my impact has impacted enough. You don't even got to do nothing else, launch nothing else. And I know you're going to do that anyway because you're great and you're awesome and you're amazing. But you really...
That means the world.
No, I'm
and I
being
really
dead
do
serious.
feel it from you. And I feel like we have a kindred background in the sense where it's like, it's community. It's the sense of like our families, our faith that have brought us this far and that made us even get to where we are. So I really do receive that from you because I know it's coming from such a true place.
Yeah. I just feel like, in our community, we're very like, oh, what's next? What's the next move? And da-da-da. Not enough people are like, actually, I'm doing great now. Like, thank you. I'm actually doing I'm actually doing freaking amazing. Like, I feel good where I am now,
Yeah.
No, facts. Like, what are you doing next?
The way you say stuff is so on point. I'm telling you, it's that Leo-ass energy. Okay, people always talk about Leo and Virgo. And my best friend is a Leo. And she's like, Virgos are who people think Leos are. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you the difference. That fierce energy that people are talking about with Leos is that. The ability to step out of that modesty and be like, no, I'm good. How are you, boo? When y'all hit them up with that, y'all are so fierce with that where it's just like, this is the line, baby. And this is where it's drawn. Let's check on you. I live for that. I'm going to adopt some of that. And before I let you go, on my show, we always do a little game. This one's called Here For It or Not. Okay? I'm going to list some makeup trends, and you tell me whether you're here for them or not.
Or not. Okay, cool.
Okay, here we go. These names that they make, it becomes difficult to even say. Here we go. Skinimalism.
The hell is
The less
that?
is more. Right, exactly. The less is more approach. Here for it or not.
I'm actually here for it.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah.
Not for me, though. Well, sometimes, for a cute little, daytime beat, like if I got errands to run. Not everyday beat face.
Lash art. It's like the lashes when they put on intricate designs on them, feathers, beads, even miniature sculptures. I've seen some stuff out there. Here for it or not.
I mean, the artist in me has to say yes.
Yeah.
Because
For
there's a time and a
fashion
place.
show, I'm here for that.
There's a time and a place for everything. But for me, no.
Okay. Floating eyeliner. Instead of the eyeliner being close to the lash, it's like unexpected places.
Oh, like graphic liner?
It could be that too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It could be cute because you get fun with it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Neon freckles. Now, this is a new one. Pretty much freckles just with neon colors, creating a cool and playful look.
It's a no for me, but I
That
respect
sounds very
it.
Coachella-ish.
Very K. If you
Okay.
like it, I love it.
Mismatched eyes. Wearing completely different eyeshadows on two different eyes. Like
Okay,
a Christian Louboutin shoe.
I'd be here for that. Yeah, I'd be here for that.
I would be very interested to see what this looks like. I'm going to be Googling all of these. Nose contour art.
Why?
People using neon colors.
No.
This is what you was talking about when they was putting their face on with shoes and stuff. Some of this stuff is just going left field for no reason. What do we need to contour art for? Okay, last one. Drippy makeup. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
You've seen it. It was a jump scare. I could feel it in your bones.
You wasting products. Girl, scoop that back in that jar. I would do that too. Y'all, let me not violate no state board.
Ladies and
health
gentlemen,
violations.
Jackie Aina, the amazing. We love you so much. Thank you for coming to the show.
We love you, Keke. Thank you for having me.
I'm leaving this conversation with Jackie looking at the beauty industry in a whole new way, okay? It's one thing to love beauty, but it's a whole other thing to use it as a tool for real change. My biggest takeaways is that beauty industry isn't just about looking good. It's about making people feel good, feel powerful, and feel like they belong. It's about activating self-expression within the framework of belonging, so to speak. But listeners, this was just another one for the books, and I can't wait till next week to chat. Until then, you know it's your girl,